Yeah, it's fun. Me and Slater getting together and sharing online and stuff like that, and just like going through. Let me show you here. Like we go through this wonderful outlet store at Daz 3D, along with the quick grab and stuff, and we'll be like sharing our experiences and things that we want and things that we need and things like that and look forward to the future and stuff. Well, Slater sent me uh, a link to these things, and they're PBR shaders in with utilities and things like that, so you can like layer different shaders together and make all kinds of different materials. And then this one was not in there, so he sent me the link to that, and we both wish listed it immediately. And then when Daz 3G just updated this, that was in there. So now we both have the complete collection. Now, Dragon Clutch was in there, and these are something that I was excited about as they were coming out originally years and years ago. And I just, couldn't get my hands on them. And when they came out with these Dragon Clutch collections like this, I put, uh, I had both of them in my wish list, and I've been watching over the years, and you know how it is where things go back and forth and you get this and that and the other thing, and some things just always fall by the wayside. Well, here this was, and over the years, I had been collecting individual dragons here and there, and it turns out that all of the dragons that I've collected were from Dragon Clutch 2. So getting this, I got the four new dragons to the collection, which is really cool. Then I got more dragons and more legacy content that I'll talk about later. More dragon stuff like from Raw Art. And then now TerraDome 3 Iray. I remember when that was still in development and I was still firmly only using Carrera. And so anything that really said Iray on it was something that I thought it was cool, but I didn't need it. Um, Possibly couldn't even use it. And so it went in my wish list anyway, and for years there it was. And as I got into Daz Studio and things like that, I was focusing on D-Force and a lot of other things. And all of a sudden, here Slater and I are chatting together, and I got into the animation four-wheeler template by Linday, and I was showing him one of the promo videos of that I really, really like. And at the very end of that is a reminder that the base pack for the animation four-wheeler template comes with a pair of TerraDome 3 tours. What you do is you bring in the zone A for TerraDome and just without anything dialed up, and you dial up the Desert Mesas morph, and then you just bring in your car that has been fitted to the four-wheeler template and apply these bonus aniBlocks to it. And then it has the aniBlocks to the camera as well. And lo and behold, bam, you have an animation of your car driving through this awesome terrain. And it's really, really cool. So this is all new stuff that I've acquired since Slater and I were, just doing these little online shopping sprees together. And so this is a car that I got with the intentions of turning that into a car for Rosie. And the thing is I needed all different color schemes for it. And I thought, well, I could just paint them in Howler and be done with it. Well, instead, and you'll see the end result in a second here. But what I ended up doing is using the maps that come with this thing and I used the geometry editor to make very specific selections, and each selection that I made had to belong to the same surface material so that it could still use those same maps. And then I would right click and go geometry assignment, and I would assign my selection to a new surface. So now I could color that one separately from what I took that selection from. So let's just say that the selection included the hood and this whole front and maybe the front fenders or something like that. Well, I would make sure that my selection that I had in Geometry Editor did not go beyond that surface. And I could do that by going deselect by and select all of the rest of the surfaces of the car. And then now I know that all of that selection is within a surface, but it's not the complete surface. It's the part that I want to extract from that surface. So then I right click and go assign selected to a new surface. And then I could paste the original surface materials over that. And now it would be the same as it was before I changed it, but now I can color everything separately. And I did several of those things to get the cool new car for Rosie, and it turned out really nice. Now, the Desert Motel I got because these really cool worn out gas pumps and a really nice motel scene, and I thought that would go really good with this and with this. Just seeing this thing come pulling up to the pumps, which I haven't done that animation yet, but that's coming. I'm gonna have the car coming in and and pull up to the pumps. And then this was another thing that Slater sent me a link to, and he knows that I'm collecting kindred arts and that they are really being a huge boon to my workflow. I really love his lighting presets and just all of his different ways of dealing with things very efficiently. So when I have this scene going on and another one, I'm using this as the sand dunes in the background. I'm not using this with the TerraDome, except that I am using the lighting and sky presets. And then to go along with all of that stuff, this was just really cool because, comfy, cool. To help bring it all together, I added one of it's called a Desert Wind VDB, and I added that to the car. I just parented it to the hull of the Animate four-wheeler template. And so this follows the car around, and that turns out kind of cool. And then I also have it in the background sky and stuff like that. So yeah, then that's how this came to be. And if we watch the whole thing through, this is without actually cutting anything. So this is just fun. This was a way to introduce the scene, introduce the whole idea that there's this really cool car and that it's a hot, sunny desert environment, and that there's some wind going on in the background. This is slowed down 50% here. And just a nice way to introduce the scene. And then here is the Desert Motel, and you can see the wind going in the background back in here. And there's the cool car with the cool new textures. And without doing that texture extraction that I was talking about, the whole grill of that car would be yellow, and a lot of other things would be the orange. And so it was really fun to just swap things around. And now here we're going to get into this is the one of the tours, the TerraDome 3 tours that comes with the Animate four-wheeler template by Linday. And This is without speeding it up. And at this point, I had forgotten that I forgot to align the wheels of this car onto the template properly. So they do have a slight wobble to them, which is fine. With these kind of wheels, it looks kind of cool because it's got those big like track tread things in the tread of the tire. But for all the rest of it, I have it fixed. But I still haven't fixed it on the saved version of the car. So I have to remember to go back in there and fix that on the saved version of the template. But yeah, see this is without speeding up the tour at all. In the video that I made, this is sped up a bit just to give it a little more uh urgency to it, but it's really neat how the physics are so accurate. And it operates the suspension and the turning of the wheels. And if you have a working steering wheel in the model, you can attach that to the template as well. And then this is the other tour, and I didn't start it from the beginning, and I don't think I rendered it all the way to the end either. That last one was almost complete. I think I cut out the first 10 frames or so. And but this is going to be a little bit shorter. And this one, the animated camera that comes with the template uh stays in the front of the car, which is pretty cool. I believe this one is for the heavyweight vehicle and the other one is for the lighter weight vehicle, or I could have that backwards. But they're very, very nice, and they follow the terrain incredibly. Like I say, you make sure that zone A is cleared of all morphs, and then you just turn Desert Mesas all the way up to one, and then when you just load in your anti-block onto your car, it just works. And then these are some interior shots. I had already animated Rosie driving around the car chase. And I had that saved out without the car, but with this steering wheel and the shifting, and then with the hair all simulated. And I just took that and dragged it into this car and have it running through the TerraDome. And so this isn't composited together. This is all just straight up rendered right here. And yes, I think that's pretty cool. It's really neat how easy it all just kind of flew together. And so this is all just a very much a work in progress right here, but and the very initial stages of it. So yeah, I thought I'd share that fun little tidbits with you and have a good one.